everyone, welcome back to another episode of Wolf Millionaire's YouTube channel. Just want to thank everyone who has subscribed to the channel. We're now at just over 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. I'm just getting back in the saddle post trip to Monterey, which was very successful. It was a very cool opportunity to have my McLaren out there for Monterey Car Week, and then for a week in LA to relax at the pool and to visit a lot of my clients. So today we're going to highlight and review a bunch of accounts that I had called out back in July. I busted them for fake followers and fake likes, and it looks like Instagram has done a little bit of a cleanup. And for those of you that were skeptical or disbelieved in what I had explicitly shown you in terms of the fake likes and fake followers, given my full analysis that I did on my YouTube channel, back in July. Today we're going to show you some further hard evidence of these accounts that I called out and how many followers they've lost in a span of a couple days when Instagram did their fake user cleanup. So if you all remember, if you haven't checked out yet, go to my blog.wolfmillionaire.com. There's a lot of student reviews that we do, highlighting their success, what they're doing right, where they can improve. There are lots of question and answer posts that I do to answer a lot of the frequently asked questions. There's the post that I did back in July of why you should never buy fake followers, which I'm going to dive into right now. And then there's also an Instagram scheduling and save draft hack, which I haven't done a YouTube video for yet, but I will be. So if you want to wait for that, that's cool. Otherwise, go and check out my blog and check it out. Really cool feature that will save you a lot of time and effort as we wait for Instagram itself to hopefully roll out an actual feature in their app to schedule and save posts as drafts. Also, make sure I just did a post on the Instagram verified scam. There's some people out there trying to scam you into sending them money to get you verified. These are really easy to spot once I've shown you how to spot them. And again, getting verified really means nothing. It doesn't increase your engagement. It's not going to help you make any more money. It's one of the main reasons why I really don't care to spend a couple grand to have an agency have Wolf Millionaire get verified, or any of my other accounts, because it's just I really don't care. So let's dive in and take a look at the first account, the biggest one that I had called out, and that was Nuxury. And I don't know if you remember or not. If you're new, he did have 1 million followers back when I busted him. As of right now, his account's on private. And he only has 641,000 followers. That's a massive, massive drop. Now, we go to our trusty social blade, the teller of all truths, and we fire up Nuxury's account, and we go to the detailed stats right here. And as we scroll down, back in August, you can see the growth continued. The growth continued. He had a day where he lost some. He had a day where he lost some, and then had a couple days where he lost some big numbers. And then look at this. As of September 3rd, he lost 366,000 fake followers. So if this isn't proof that a lot of these accounts out there are just trying to scam people for their ad money, scam them into thinking that they actually have 1 million followers, Social Blade will tell you the truth. When you have a drop of over 250,000 followers, even a drop of a couple thousand followers in one day, that right there just screams that the account is up to no good. And as if we scroll down here and kind of take a look at the graphs for the total followers, we can see that early in 2016, late 2015, early 2016, there was moderate growth, and then come April of this year, there was some massive growth. I mean, growth that went from 250,000 followers to 800,000 followers, and then up to the million. And then as you see right here, this big massive drop from 1 million on September 2nd down to 661. Now, here's another little learning as I teach you guys all about Social Blade and really what the numbers all mean and how to decipher everything. As we can see here, the last reported date that we have is September 5th. Today, when I film this, is September 10th. Now, you might want to ask me, well, why have we not seen the last 5 days? Well, when you put your account on private like Nuxury has, Social Blade can no longer crawl your page and track your growth. So that's why you can see, that's why you can't see the last 5 days of his stats. And he did that for a good reason. As you see, the last reported date was September 5th. He had 661,000 followers. As of right now, he has 641. So he lost another 20,000 followers between the September 5th and today. So this is glaring truth that, Nuxury's account was fake, which I called out 2 months ago. Not even 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. So just be conscious, and now you can really spot and understand where I'm coming from when I'm busting these fake accounts. The next one up is Lux All Day. This was another one that I had busted back in July. And they have 926,000 followers. As of today, their account is not on private. And when we dive into these guys' Social Blades, again, we can see that, they had some growth going on. They had a couple days where they lost 2,000, 5,000, and then bam, they got slammed on September 3rd and lost 217,000 followers. That is craziness. That just goes to show you how many fake followers these guys are buying. And as you can see, it looks like the fake followers hasn't stopped. And they just keep buying, 15,000 a day, 6,000 a day, 14,000 a day. This is all going to catch up to them at some point because Instagram, it doesn't tolerate this kind of fake bot or fake account or the other methods that they're using to get these fake numbers. And it's just a matter of time before Instagram hands down major penalties and disables these accounts. So, short-term games of faking it to, try to make money off of people thinking that you have a 1 million follower page is really just a waste of your time because one, it's going to come to my attention and I'm going to call you out on it and people will not be advertising with you. And two, Instagram will lay down the law at some point, just like they have cleaning up all these fake followers along the way. And it just being, glaringly evident that you are faking it. And as we see here, the new calculations, right? Monthly average, 158,000 in the negative, yearly projection, minus 1.9. Now, this is just because it's taking the last, averages out. And when you throw a number like this into the mix, it throws everything off. But as we scroll down and take a look at their charts here, again, we see, very slow, non-moderate growth, a little bit of growth here. And then again in April, same kind of time as Nuxury, where they went from 270 all the way up to 1 million in a handful of months with really sharp growth here in a matter of weeks. And here, this just kind of screams fake to me as an experienced Instagram and Social Blade analytics master. As you can see right here is the massive drop that they experienced. You can also see this graph here just as another learning. This is them, following and unfollowing people back before the Instagram update that basically nullified the third-party apps like Crowdfire that allowed you to do this. Again, this is something that I predicted back in November of 2015 that would be no longer supported by Instagram. And, a month after I made that prediction, Instagram gave everybody a heads up saying, June of 2016 this year, these third-party apps that follow, unfollow, like, and comment will no longer be supported. And boom, that's what happened. Took out pretty much everyone else's strategies out there because that's what they were relying on to grow Instagram accounts was the follow and unfollow method, which I explain in detail is not a proper way to get followers because you're really just amassing followers who want to be followed. They have no real value to you other than the fact that they want followers and you want followers in this disgusting symbiotic relationship, which at the end of the day is not going to convert. Those people are not going to contribute and engage with your photos, whether liking or commenting, and they're really just there to pad your ego to have a high number of followers. So using my Insta Wealth growth strategies, it preaches how to properly grow your account with a focus on content. Content is still king, and the biggest thing you can do is focus on finding the hottest content and delivering it properly at certain times of the day in order to, get the most amount of engagements and the most amount of followers out of it. So let's move on. We've got a couple more. Car Society, this is another one that I had busted a month and a half ago. They currently have 513,000 followers. And if we fire up their Social Blade, again, we see that they've been, growing their account very aggressively, too aggressively, because it just screams fake, especially when you have these days where you're losing, 1,300 or 5,000 or 6,000 followers, 30,000 followers. And then, oh, look what we have here. Bam. Completely slammed by Instagram on September 3rd. He lost 380,000 followers. That is a hard hit. And as you can see, he still had his fake follower machine fired up, because the next day it reported, another 6,500 followers. But then since then, he's been just being slammed, 10,000, minus 5,000, minus 15,000. So this account's not looking too healthy. Again, this is something that I called back in July and also walked you guys through. So, if you want to go back and learn and see exactly what I did to figure that out, you can do that because I walk you through it. And just looking at the graph, same kind of thing. Little to no growth in the early part or the first quarter of 2016. And then we saw a massive ramp up May, June, July, all the way up to almost 1 million followers before bam. He got slammed by Instagram. Instagram laying down the law. So let's see what else we have up. We have Fashion Digest. This is another one. 1 million followers. And if we look at their Social Blade, can almost can't catch it just because they've got a couple days here where they've been, growing very, very fast, 3,000 to 7,000 followers a day. And then they stop buying followers because, they're at 1 million, and people like to think that having 1 million followers is very attractive to selling advertising, which it is. But, getting there properly and organically versus getting there, by cheating is going to, affect you in the long run. So as we scroll down, we see nothing but a loss of followers, which again, this is not too uncommon, especially with all the algorithm change that Instagram is making. It's very normal to lose followers from week to week, from day to day, especially if you post a lot of content. The rate at which we are all growing our accounts is a lot slower than what it used to be. So the rate that we are losing followers is the same. So it's very common if you see accounts losing, 50 followers a day to 100 followers a day, if they're in the 500,000 to million follower plus, especially if they post a lot of content. But, right here we see again, September 3rd, the day of reckoning, they lost 28,000 followers, which in the grand scheme of things, isn't as crazy as the last couple accounts that we highlighted. But again, it's still a loss. It's still 30,000 followers that show the hand that, these accounts were at one point probably growing nicely and organically. Had a little bit of a leveling off period back at the end of the first quarter of 2016 when we all saw a major algorithm shift in engagement as well as followers. And then, these accounts just proceeded to buy fake followers. And as a result, they're getting penalized. So that's another loss. We've got another one here. Oh Wow Fashion, 960,000 followers. If we look at their Social Blade, same kind of thing. A couple hundred followers a day, a loss for a 960,000 follower account. That's pretty normal. But when you start to see bigger numbers creep up, right here again, September 3rd seems to have been the day of reckoning. So you can, if you want to go do your research now, you pretty much have about a month until, this day will disappear off of our last 30 days that we have to look at on Instagram. I've taken a bunch of these screenshots so that I can plug them into my blog, and they will live forever to show and teach you guys if you're new and you're just subscribing and watching this video, in the following months where you can't go and look at this Social Blade graph live right away. But here we look at Oh Wow Fashion, and again we see some decent linear growth. And then a little bit of a plateau, which again was very normal for all of us. But then you see right here this kind of step change, right, where you went from 720,000 to 1 million in span of a month. that is just that's just fake. It's just people buying fake accounts, bot accounts, hacked accounts by the masses. All those poor suckers who clicked on the wrong link in someone's bio, thinking that they get an emoji pack or something free or something cool, and were forced to download an app. It stole their Instagram account. It's very common, so be careful of that. And as we see here, just at the end, going from 1 million down to the 960. As of today was the cleanup drop for Oh Wow Fashion. So be careful when dealing with the Oh Wow Inc., Oh Wow Fashion, Oh Wow Luxury accounts. There could be some funky stuff going on. Next up, we have Millions with a dot in between the first MI, 70,000 followers. This isn't big enough for me to really bust, but again, just for the sake of the example and showing you how you can see the game that people are playing, we'll fire up their account on Social Blade, and we'll just take a quick scroll through it, and we can see that there was, some moderate growth. There was some big growth here back in the middle of, up till the middle of August, and then just some, normal growth, which looks kind of real, a little bit of loss, which looks real. And then again, bam, Day of Reckoning, September 3rd, 25,000 followers he lost. That's a pretty big loss for an account with, only 100,000 followers. And again, moderate growth here, aggressive growth here, and then bam, the step change. It's when you get screwed by Instagram for cheating the system. Cheating is a reward, guys. Remember, nothing worth having in life is achieved by cheating. So it always catches up with people, especially in the digital world. So, just play it straight and grow your account with normal, proper best practices, like all the strategies that I've been teaching, because that is the long-term way that you will actually be able to grow a sustainable organic account with a great engagement and actually make money from it. The last one up is Menswear Pro, 128,000 followers. And when we look at their Social Blade, again, we see, some moderate to low growth, some days where they were losing, 200 to 1,000. And then, oh boy, what do we have here? We have a scary number. Look at this. This account lost 360,000 followers on the 4th. And it looks like that they're missing some days here. It could have been they put their account on private. Which is, again, that's usually the case when you see a jump in these numbers. We have it down here as well. The last reported day was September 10th. Before that was September 6th, so it was on private. Probably because they're freaking out, knowing that they've got some explaining to do with some of their advertising partners who thought that they were advertising on a page with, whatever they have here, 500,000 followers. And that's not the case anymore. So we've got a little glitch. So this was a 500,000 follower account prior to the Day of Reckoning. And you can see that they had this very stagnant state of, 500,000 followers. And they just started declining. And now they're down to 140,000 followers. That's pretty funny. Sucks to be you guys. That's what happens when you cheat. You have no one to blame but yourself, and you're going to be losing all of those advertisers that you scammed, because I will be emailing them all. So that's how you see what happens when people fake their Instagram growth, and hopefully you guys don't get scammed out of advertising or doing deals with any of these guys or anyone else out there that has these kind of numbers. Again, if you do, send me an email, anthony@madwhips.com. And let me know the Instagram account that scammed you so I can look into it. Or if you just want to send me a couple tips, if you have other big accounts that you've noticed this trend where they've lost a lot of followers in and around that September 3rd or September 4th, 2016 date, we will make an example out of them and bust them and highlight them on the Wolf Millionaire channel. Hope everyone's having a great weekend, and stay tuned for some more free learnings on my YouTube channel. Cheers.